The Ballon d'Or winner was announced recently, and I've got some things to talk about. Most people are focusing on Vinny and Rodri specifically, and I want to talk about the issues I have with the Ballon d'Or in general and the way that fans perceive the award. Please watch this entire video before writing something nonsensical in the comments because I have a lot of things to talk about and would love to have good debates in the comments. Also, if you're new here, please like and subscribe and head over to my TikTok and drop me a follow. Thanks. First, I have an issue with simply how much people care about the Ballon d'Or. I understand that this is arguably the biggest award in the world. It's the biggest honor someone could possibly be awarded, but it doesn't actually mean that much. And I say this because the award is external from football. The Ballon d'Or is not something you actually earn like a golden boot or a trophy. Those awards, there is no debate between them. The team that wins the title wins the trophy. The player that scores the most goals wins the Golden Boot. However, when it comes to awards like the Ballon d'Or and Player of the Season, these awards are subjective. The awards are voted by people, meaning that there is debate between them. These awards come after all the work is done and are handed out to acknowledge quality performances. However, these don't actually mean the player is the best. This is why I have an issue with people using the Ballon d'Or in debates. Ballon d'Ors are awards. They should realistically be last on the list of a player's achievements. I can't stand when I hear someone listing off achievements and then use Ballon d'Or wins as the main thing to talk about. I want to compare the Ballon d'Or to the other biggest award ceremony, the Academy Awards, also known as the Oscars. I love movies and I enjoy watching the Oscars. However, the movie community doesn't use Oscar wins as talking points in movie discourse. They view it as a fun event where you hope your favorite actor, director, movie, etc. wins. You don't hear people bring up Oscar wins when debating which actor is better than another because people acknowledge that these awards signify excellence but don't actually mean that much. However, when it comes to football discourse, the Ballon d'Or never leaves people's mouths. This is the biggest event of the year. Every time a player wins a title or even scores a few goals, there is talk about if this player should win the Ballon d'Or or if he's going to be one of the favorites. For example, people say that Luka Modric is a better player than Iniesta because he has a Ballon d'Or. Instead of debating the stuff that actually happens on the field, they use an award that is subjective and highly built off of narratives as the reason why one player is better than another. Even if you agree or disagree with the claim, using the Ballon d'Or win as the argument signifies that you don't actually have an argument. Talk about their qualities. What makes one player better than another? Talk about the trophies they have won. Talk about the impact they have had on their team. Just because one of them won an award doesn't make him better than the other. I made a few videos on a couple platforms talking about the Messi and Ronaldo debate, and I've discussed how the debate was never close. And I've received many comments that say something like, well, you can't say it wasn't close because they both had 5 Ballon d'Or wins at one point. I do not care about how many Ballon d'Or wins they had. Why do people think that makes them equal? Why do people think that makes the debate close? Messi was always a far superior footballer. Messi is better at basically everything and is unlike anything we've ever seen before. Messi isn't better because he has more Ballon d'Ors. Messi is better because he is a more talented and effective footballer than Ronaldo. The Ballon d'Ors are just extra. What Messi did to win those awards is what's important. The performances, the stats, the trophies are what's important. He's not better because of the awards. He already was better before he even walked onto the stage. This idea that a player suddenly becomes better or worse than another player because they get their name called at one of the most boring ceremonies of all time is crazy. It's actually poisoned the minds of so many fans. They do not know how to think about football. This also has led into mass delusion and fans just calling everything rigged. Half of football fans believe that everything was rigged for Messi and there is this giant conspiracy. Guys, Ronaldo should be lucky to even have 5 Ballon d'Ors. Honestly, strip all of Messi's Ballon d'Or wins away from him and he'd still be the greater player. Their entire perception of the players and the sport is built around meaningless things. The Ballon d'Or is not the end-all be-all. It should be seen as just a ceremony to recognize excellence, but it's not. It's become the biggest agenda and narrative fueling nonsense that is turning everyone's brains into mush. Now that I got that out of the way, let's talk about Vinny and Rodri specifically. First, I want to say that I think both of them would have been fine winners. When just looking at both of them with as little bias as possible, both of them had incredible years. They both won big trophies and were key components of their team's success. I think the people who are crying about the Ballon d'Or being a robbery are clearly living in an alternate dimension. Although I think Rodri was a fine winner and a fair winner, having a holding midfielder win the Ballon d'Or is a bit uninspiring. There's this idea that every position in football is equal and everyone is valuable to their team equally when that is simply not the case and has never been the case. When you watch Rodri play, do you really look at him and think, wow, that's the best player in the world? That's a Ballon d'Or caliber player right there. Most reasonable people would say no. I think attackers are generally more valuable to a team and should be winning these awards. And I say this because they, strikers, wingers, and attacking midfielders, bring the most value to a team. For me, value in football is what's most important: goals, assists, chance creation. That's what value is. The players who can win you a game are the most valuable players. That's why I don't think most midfielders, defenders, or goalkeepers should ever be winning the Ballon d'Or. No matter how good they were in their individual season, they will never bring the most value when compared to the best attackers, the players that win you games. Like when people try to say that Van Dijk was robbed when Messi won the award, are you really trying to say that the best player of all time, the most valuable player the sport has ever seen, robbed a center back of the best player award? Give me a break, please. With that being said, I'm not blaming Rodri in any way. This is nothing against him. This just highlights a larger issue in the sport. There aren't that many top tier elite attackers in the modern game. Because some of these attackers don't play to their best consistently, that's why you get Rodri winning a somewhat deserved award of this caliber. Guys like Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., and Erling Haaland should be claiming this award easily, and midfielders and defenders and goalkeepers should be nowhere near that top spot, but it is what it is. I know most people will disagree with this, but I'm a realist. Attackers have always been the best players and the most valuable players. You guys can do mental gymnastics in the comments, but you all know the truth. Finally, I want to talk about some general issues that I have with the Ballon d'Or. First, why on earth does there need to be 30 nominees? Someone please let me know because I do not understand. I think you should only be getting nominated if you have a chance of winning. There should realistically be only 5 nominees. Artem Dovbyk was nominated. He never had a chance of winning, never in a million years. Granit Xhaka never had a chance. Vitinha never had a chance. I could go on and name 15 to 20 more players. What's the point? Why 30 players? Why not 50 players and add even more players to the list of ridiculous nominees? Oh, but all of these players deserve to be recognized. Nope, no, they do not. There is no argument that could ever convince me that this many players need to be nominated. Also, I've been seeing a lot of posts recently online talking about how class and fair play is a criteria for the Ballon d'Or. Is this serious? People see this and still take this award seriously? Who cares? Who actually cares? A lot of you care about some really strange stuff, and I can't believe that these journalist voters do too. Vinny didn't win because he didn't show enough class and fair play. How about we see if he's good at football? I don't know, this might sound crazy, but if we're handing out an award for the best footballer, how about we see who the best footballer is? I don't know, I'm just throwing something out there. We've all lost our minds, maybe I have too. The way people pick and choose when to cry about how players act is hilarious to me. The final point I want to make is actually about Dani Carvajal. Out of everything I've mentioned in this video and all the issues I have with this award, Dani Carvajal finishing fourth is the thing that has upset me the most. Dani Carvajal finished fourth. Dani Carvajal has finished fourth in the Ballon d'Or rankings. And the fact that I've seen so many people think that this is perfectly fine just shows the state that the modern game is in. The fans are absolutely cooked. That'll be the end of the video. Thanks for listening to my rant. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.